Welcome back. Today we're back with another betting video. We have a very highly anticipated, everyone is highly anticipated NFC South here. As in the office, we don't have Tony here for Derek Carr hate, but outside of that, we have Nick the Falcons fan, and I'm obviously a Panthers fan, as we're starting with the Panthers.
Before we get started, all the lines that we take today, the highers, the lowers, touchdowns, the yards, are available on Underdog Fantasy. We work with them, we love them, and we know you guys love them as well. So if you want to tail any of the picks that we talk about today, go download the Underdog Fantasy app and use promo code BDGE. What that'll do for you is a few things. You're going to get a bunch of money on your accounts with deposit bonuses and matches on there. They'll throw a free square on there for you as well for week 1. I think it's Patrick Mahomes, like 0.5 passing yards. So you have an auto win on the books already. And possibly most importantly, if you've got a fantasy football draft coming up, you've got our draft guide absolutely free. It's got our rankings for all different league types. It's got our must draft players, our fade list. It's got all that good stuff in there for you if you deposit on BDGE $10 or more for first-time depositors using promo code BDGE.
5.5 wins? That's it?
That's all?
Up.
What they have last year?
More.
This would
Enough.
be a 300% increase if they hit the over.
And guess what? It probably won't happen. But
Correct.
we'll keep it moving. I honestly would probably take the over here. I think we're going to sneak 6.
Honestly.
Our schedule's kind of fucking cheekies.
What happens when you play in that?
Yeah, so I think we can squeak out 6. Plus, I'm really a believer in our new head coach, Canals. I think he is going to really not only be a great addition for the offense, and the offense will finally get moving, as that was really our detriment for last year.
Go do your thing.
All right, my thoughts.
Real quick, over under. Then
We were waiting for you to come back.
Yeah, I was just waiting.
And now he's locked in for the rest of the This was
I am
part of the
going-
contract for your fucking editing thing.
I am going under, but I think a Bryce bounce back year is in the cards. They improved the offensive line. They're going to be.
It's not a bounce back year. It's a
a
your
year.
first
He's
time
gonna
doing
prove
something
it.
good. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Good luck to everyone.
Good luck. But going back to that, I agree that the Panthers defense is not complete cheeks, but I think there's the chicken or the egg of okay, teams get up and they just run the ball a million times.
Yeah,
because,
I get that 100%.
Yeah, so
no, I
don't know if
understand.
the stats really.
No, I understand that. It's a tough argument because we held teams we looked good against teams like Minnesota last year, who with Kirk Cousins had a solid offense, so we could shut them down. We just couldn't fucking score anything. So it's if this year I feel like we can turn it around on the offensive side of the rock, pressure teams to have to throw the ball more to our decent secondary.
Dude, you know what I was thinking about yesterday? This is so kind of off topic, but one of their wins last year, didn't they beat the Texans?
Yep.
They beat us.
And Bryce outplayed CJ Stroud.
That's insane.
That was the one silver lining in your whole season.
Yep.
It was Bryce Young beat CJ Stroud.
Beat CJ Stroud and outplayed his bitch ass. So I'm just saying the facts.
They're kind of an interesting team though for for fantasy at least because
Oh,
they
yeah.
have a lot of early round capital at wide receiver. Thielen's coming off a 1,000-yard season. Deontay Johnson gets added to the mix. I know you're high on Deontay.
Yeah, no, I think he's just going to be a PPR monster.
Andrew's kind of really in on him too. I just I don't know what his touchdown upside is, and I don't know what I don't know what his volume. I know it's projected to be very high, but I still think Thielen's going to be involved. I still think one of the either Leggett or Mingo is going to be relatively involved in an offense that's probably not going to pass the ball too much. I have a hard time getting on board with Deontay Johnson as anything more than a dude who scores 10 PPR points a week.
Yeah, it's tough when you're looking at it from the surface level of just the team overall and kind of the environment he's going into. The reason why I like him isn't, again, this is more just a more film basis than any stats I have to back it up. But
He's a great separator.
and we all know the separation, but it's more Bryce Young is an anticipatory quarterback. So he will throw right as people break, and that's when he does really well. It's the exact same as a Tua, for example, who isn't an elite quarterback at making plays. He's not going to wow us with whatever, but he's going to get his playmakers the ball as soon as they get a little bit of separation, and that's what Bryce does really well. And I think with Deonta, that's kind of where they will complement each other a lot, and he'll just kind of eat up literally probably 8 to 10 targets a game.
So do you like the over?
Of his yards, yes. Touchdowns, no. I think his touchdowns is going to fall anywhere for around 5.
You don't like that TBD? You take the under on TBD?
TBD, yeah, no, high key. No, but Deontay at 4.5. I like for the most part. I like Bryce's yards over, but I like Deontay, Bryce over probably yards. I'm leaning, and then under touchdowns.
Okay. Alternate question.
No,
if you're Deontay, whatever, 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th round pick.
Leggett sucks.
Is there any receiver in the group that you like as a later round flyer, best ball pick or something?
No.
Maybe
Thielen. Just because
I have like a decent amount of Thielen shares.
Yeah, like maybe Thielen. It's tough because Bryce. It's. I think Thielen's a good. Just like he's probably gonna end up scoring 5 tugs this year. Just off
feel
of
like
him.
Thielen.
I think he could hit the over on 550.
Me too.
Yeah, I think he can.
Not too. Like I expect him to get like maybe 45 yards a week or something like that. That's
Yeah,
not asking
that's
too much,
not
and
bad.
that will easily.
He could be a solid
get
like
over
wide
550.
receiver 4, wide receiver 3, just throwing your flex type.
And then the running backs, for those of you guys that are like kind of just tuning into football again, Jonathan Brooks was the first back off the board in the draft this year, 2nd round pick coming out of Texas, but he suffered an ACL tear in like mid-November, late November of this previous season, and he's 20 years old, so I don't really see a reason for them to rush him back whatsoever. I'm completely off on Brooks in any sort of like redraft format this year for fantasy. I kind of think like Chuba is not a terrible pick.
No, I think Chuba's a solid value.
I think he's going to give you like starter production, RB3 type numbers for maybe 2 months of the season. And I think he's like completely washed off because of Brooks, but I kind of feel the opposite there. So Brooks, I'm off of for redraft. Love him for dynasty, love him long term, but I think the run game, I think the smart play is Chuba.
Yeah, I think if you start your redrafts and you're going like JT Saquon and then you don't love the wide receiver value, he's a solid flyer for late season because he'll probably get numbers weeks, I would say 11 past, or even when you get past the bye, going into week 12. They have a tougher schedule, but he's going to get fed the rock once he's like really healthy. But I think until then, like you can get Chuba at a crazy discount.
Yeah, he's a good pick if you're trying to stack him with any, like, I don't know that I'd invest into both guys in the Panthers backfield, but let's say you want to go grab Corum or Benson or Marshawn Lloyd or anyone that you think could have a second half of the year breakout, let Chuba give you 10 PPR fantasy points a week for the first 8 weeks and then figure out from there.
Strat.
That's what I'm talking about right now.
All right, J-Mo, any words? We've been yapping.
Just like the under. Not to like keep yapping about fantasy, but I kind of like Bryce this year where he's going in drafts. 3,300, I probably wouldn't touch. But I'm very curious when his touchdown line comes out.
His touchdown line will probably be
high teens.
I think it came out for a second. And it was like 18 and a half, 19 and a half. Like it was right around that range. And then they pulled it within.
Did you see? Seeing the video of him walking into training camp day one. That was tough.
That's bad.
That was tough seeing.
Yeah.
Like you gotta play that for them.
That just looks like me walking into the office. That's what that looked like.
It's tough because he's just like he's an any bull. It's so hard, dude.
Why is he wearing that big ass backpack?
He looked like he was.
He looked like he was like
this week at college.
I'm gonna be honest. He looked like one of those kindergartners that just didn't get the right fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like his mom packed all of his textbooks on the first day of class. History, science, math, all in his backpack.
With color coded.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, no, it was a tough scene. I'll play it for them.
There was a lack of aura too. Like he wasn't even confident in his walk.
No, he just.
Joe Burrow's coming out with this blonde, bleach hair.
Yeah, that's my problem with the Panthers' offense as a whole. I think we should also note
aura.
that they signed. Well, it's like they have no identity at all. They got nobody to be like, I'm the guy who's running this offense.
Yeah, I think it will be I think it's gonna be Brooks once he gets healthy. Like he's such a G.
I agree. For
sure. And
but
he's
right now it's got to be Deontay, and Deontay's not really. He's like a 1-ish, but he's not
like
the
a
dude
1B.
you want to run your offense through. You know
100%.
what I mean? Like he's been cool in Pittsburgh, but you still want a different identity outside of Deontay Johnson. They did sign Robert Hunt, 5 years, $100 million.
Yeah, he was our biggest move by far.
Damian Lewis was a big signing as well, at least money wise. So it's like you're trying to do everything you can. They're taking the same approach that Tennessee is doing by surrounding Will Levis, Bears with Caleb Williams. It's the right thing to do when you have the rookie contract for a quarterback. We'll see if it plays out though.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, we can move on though. We've enough yapping about my Panthers. We'll move to the next two teams that have the same win total. The Bucs up first, -150 on the over. There was a little bit of back and forth on the books. Some at 8.5, some at 7.5. I stuck with 7.5 because it seemed the most reasonable. 8.5 just seemed too large. -150. I don't know if I'm willing to take the juice. I don't love the Bucs this year.
I think they might flop.
Yeah, I think there's a high potential. Obviously, new offensive coordinator coming in. We don't know how Baker's going to do. Every time we expect Baker to do well, he never fucking does
when
well.
The expectations are high. That's when Baker takes a step down.
Yeah, and 36.50 is a high line to start out. 23 tugs, 24 he's going to need. Could happen. Rashad White's lines, though, low-key like them. 850 rush yards, 350 receiving, 5.5 rushing tugs. Chris Godwin, 850, 4.5 receiving tugs. And then the Mike Evans line. J-Mo's fave.
Yeah.
He didn't have 1,000 last year, right? Rushing.
Who?
White, or was he just short? I thought.
I
thought he was just short.
I think he
was just short of it.
Yeah, I think he had 900
touches, though. I wouldn't touch the rushing line just because I don't think he's a good runner, and I think the offensive line...
He's inefficient as fuck.
Yeah, the offensive line is not good either. They get no push, but...
Bucky.
I just think he's going to be such a factor in the receiving game where he's going to catch another, like, 60, 65 passes, which makes me feel good about his floor. Kind of the same with Godwin. Evans, I don't know that I would touch that.
Oh, I'm going. J-Mo's so in on the under.
We've got like 6 TikToks just got the same take.
I would lean that way too. The OC is coming over from I think L.A.
Yeah.
Right. He's part of the McVay tree. So like,
he's a
if nothing
coach.
else, like I feel okay about just saying that kind of.
The only thing that because I looked up research to try to fade White as like, oh, he might split time. Like the Rams have always like normally had outside of this year a pretty split backfield, whatever the case. Yeah, I'm wrong. So far, he's like every time he's like been in OC in the past, he's had like one workhorse, and I'm like, okay, Rachaad White might cook again.
Where's he been in OC besides?
I can look it up.
Just LA. He's young. He's
young.
38 or something.
I was looking at
what the fuck isn't Shea? Is it something Shea?
His name was whack. I looked it up to do like a Twitter thread on it, and then I was like, I can't put this fucking in here.
Because Baker liked this guy because that's who he worked with when he was a Ram vaguely. I think like he had
Liam Cohen.
Yeah,
Cohen-ass motherfucker.
Godwin about to pop off.
Godwin over.
Well, no, that's the thing with like the McVay trees. It's anyone who touches that offense. You could be like the passing game coordinator, the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, the running backs coach.
Is
like,
McVay the play caller?
No one touches that offense besides him.
Just give me his damn wiki.
I didn't know. I felt like O'Connell for some reason was calling plays when he was there.
Okay, this is why I was looking at Kentucky. He was Kentucky's offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach, offensive coordinator for the Rams in 2022, offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach for Kentucky in 2021.
Big Ray Davis. Or Chris Rodriguez.
So I was looking at Kentucky. Ray Davis got 90% of the touches. 2022 Rams, Cam Akers, 8 until he got hurt. 2021 Kentucky, another example of just like 90% touches went to one back. Yeah. And I was like he might just be another like RB1 straight off of volume.
Yeah, I think that'll be the case. And it's like Bucky, I think, brings good attributes to the field. The problem is like the one thing White is good at, I feel like that's where Bucky really excels.
Is pass catching.
If it was if like Bucky went to like Cincinnati and it was complimenting Zach Moss, I feel like that would be sick.
Yeah.
But like I hate the landing spot for him.
It's tough. And I don't think they're gonna try to force White into a real like bruiser role by any means. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But yeah, if I were to take anything, it definitely would be the 350 receiving yards. I'm excited to see. I want to see reception lines when they come out.
Yeah.
I think his lines can be very interesting. And I really think Godwin's lines can be very interesting because he was another player last year where he just like may not have had the explosive yard games, but he have some games where he just had 13 catches.
Yeah. I think like
I like his over 850.
Godwin's kind of tough because I think everyone's just going to talk about, I don't know, like positive regression, like he's going to get better. But at the end of the day, Baker and Evans just have like a real chemistry.
Yeah.
Like when Baker needs to throw the ball somewhere, it's going to Evans. It's not just like a
Godwin playing in the slot now matters.
He'll be better in the slot. I just like don't know if I buy the narrative. Like who the fuck else are they going to put on the outside? Like when it's 2 wide receiver sets, who's
Trey Palmer?
He really hasn't just been the same since he tore his ACL.
Oh, but didn't they get McMillan?
Yeah. They got McMillan.
So why wouldn't he be slot?
That's what I'm saying. McMillan's like a slot guy.
McMillan is a literal slot.
Yeah.
Like that
so
makes...
like I get it that it like sounds good in theory. Like we're gonna put Godwin back, and if they do, he'll definitely play better. I just don't know that they really have the personnel to do it.
No, because McMillan's definitely that doesn't add up. All right, well we'll find out. Any locks final before we move on?
I like the under on wins. And the under on Mike Evans yards.
I would lean under on wins as well. The schedule is kind of tough.
7-10 feels really good.
They play all of the NFC East, which kind of sucks. They play Philly, Dallas. They also have to go through the AFC West, so they play Kansas City. San Francisco, Week 10, not too easy. And I don't think I'm going to be very honest. I don't think they're really beating Atlanta both times. No glaze.
The South is easy, obviously.
Yeah.
And then
they play Detroit
the NFC
Week
East,
2.
like Dallas, Philly stuff, but Washington and New York are not tough.
The main ones I'm pointing out,
Chargers,
San Francisco,
Raiders.
like the ones that I'm locking is L's.
It's a good line.
Philly, Baltimore, Kansas City, San Francisco, Detroit, and they're Dallas.
They play some. They play like all of the upper tier teams in the NFL for sure. But they're like The Bucs are those teams that
they'll just win one of them.
They're scrappy as fuck, so they'll like drag teams through like a 17-14 battle, like the Denvers of the world.
Baker would just put his shoulder down into somebody.
Yeah, and like their defense always just outperforms what you think they're going to be. So they come away with those like one-score games pretty often. 7.5 is tough. I just don't think I would lay 1.5 to 1 on the over. So I guess if I was having to bet, I would probably take the under of 7.5.
Let's move on. The New Orleans Saints. 7.5 wins. The over is not as juicy. -130, plus 100 under. So you're getting some value there. Getting even odds.
All right, calories.
Went down 350 yards since our first betting video. If you caught the first betting video, you're cashing out pretty big right now.
Value.
On the same book, on Underdog, he's gone down 350?
300. He was at 3,750 yards.
Damn.
When we first made our video, and we were like, this is a guaranteed lock.
Next, we're going to get some subscribers this year. Next summer, we're going to be making people a lot of money when we have actual viewers.
This AR went down too in his passing touch. Like almost all of the unders we've taken have somehow gone down. So, and UD was the biggest one.
New Orleans. I mean, you want to talk about a team without an identity.
Yeah, this one got absolutely none. Chris Olave is the only one with drip on this team outside Alvin Kamara. It's them two, and the rest are cones.
I like Shaheed a little bit.
Shaheed's a little sneaky,
but
got
a new OC coming over. I think
675 is a little high.
Clint Kuby. Yeah, I mean, Shaheed's one of those dudes that's he'll be on the field probably for like every snap. So he can kind of like just make a big play every 3 weeks or something like that and kind of like skim past this line, luckily. I kind of like him as a 10th, 11th, 12th round pick, though, in baseball. He's cool.
No, 100%. I kind of low-key like his touchdowns at 3.5. Like, he finds the end zone on just these deep passes all the fucking time.
Yeah. I like the offense a little bit more. I think I think their new OC uses play action like super, super heavily, which I think lends itself to shots down the field for Shaheed and Olave a little bit more than usual. And maybe it veers away from like Kamara catching 7,000 passes. But, I mean, what else are they going to do besides give the ball to him?
Their O-line is...
It's bad.
It might be the worst. Did you see Ramczyk got suspended the year? Or not suspended, but he's out the year?
Yeah. Yeah, their O-line's going to be atrocious.
They're cooked.
As soon as Kamara's receiving line comes out, I'm hammering the fuck out of it.
The over?
His reception line is probably going to be like...
It's going to be nutty.
I would say they'll put it at like 60.5.
I was about to say, it's going to be somewhere around there.
I mean, if they have... Wait, 625 is his rushing. They don't have receiving?
No, it's all rushing. Whenever it's just one for running backs, it's always rushing.
Okay.
What do you think about Olave? Like, I
kind of like his over. Like, he's hit it both years, and I feel like...
I think he'll get 1,000. I think it's just, like, fantasy-wise, him going to, like, wide receiver 12 right now is going to be a little high.
It's pretty juicy, yeah.
Straight off drip.
We might just be looking at, like, the next Terry McLaurin with Olave. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, he's so talented.
At this point, both him and Garrett Wilson, like, if Rodgers doesn't cook, like, they're going to be the same as that guy.
Garrett going to be all right.
Schedule-wise, not too bad. I mean, kind of the same as the rest of them, just in different weeks. Dallas,
week
Philly,
one.
Kansas
City. That's going to set the tone.
Oh, I know.
That's going
to set the tone week. Boy's going to come out rolling. Empty Cal's about to have a...
If they fall 0-1 to the Panthers,
they go 0-1,
and then go Dallas, Philly, Atlanta.
0-5.
Yeah, they're going 0-5 if they lose the first one. They got to face us, all of us on the road.
The only one I could see them beating Dallas on some bullshit.
No,
that's just like how that's how Dallas
Parsons
loses.
Might have like 3.5 sacks that game.
I could see them get the one split with Atlanta, maybe, just because that's going to happen.
They always beat us once, yeah.
But there's a real shot they go 0-5 and Derek Carr's under cashes immediately because he got benched. He's not going to get benched.
Spencer Rattler is going to be the GOAT. Come back and then revive the team. Go over 7.5 wins.
Where's their bye? Week 12?
Yeah.
They do it. That's a soft-ass schedule after the bye, though.
No, that's what I was going to bring up. Rams, Giants, Washington, Green Bay, probably now, Vegas, Tampa.
That week?
Dude, I mean, are the Giants and Washington scaring you?
Do they have like a... I mean, they don't
Vegas
have
ain't.
What do they have, like one team that's projected 9 wins?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the Raiders and Bucs are both scrappy teams I don't want to play.
I mean, if you're going to go that far, then you just don't want to play any team in the NFL. Like, not every team can be Carolina.
Enough.
Like Tampa Bay's 7.5 wins. Washington, New York, like 5.5. Yeah, that's a pretty fucking easy post-bye schedule.
We'll see we'll see if they even have an O-line by then, though.
Yeah, I wish Spencer Rattler was like a day 2 pick.
Dude, it would be electric.
Because if he was day 2 and like Derek Carr is terrible this year, he's getting on the field. But
he's also a gunslinger, so it'd be like I think Olave would cook.
It'd be sick.
Yeah, I think Olave would have a day.
I feel like Carr might. The under is like pretty good line to take.
Just another under.
Just because there's a good feeling he might just get benched to see what they have.
When his touchdown line originally came out for like the day, it was 23.5.
He's like
he had 25 last year.
Floats in the 25 range.
You got any lines for Taysom?
At least none that I've even seen come out. There's none right now.
Yeah, you can't put lines on him.
They're just gonna put it like 400 for everything.
They probably just have
400 and like 2.5 for every stat.
Yeah, they probably just have like 4.5 total touchdowns. Would be nice.
Yeah. All right,
that would be kind of cool.
We can move on. Nikki's Atlanta Falcons.
The juggernauts.
9.5 minus 134. It was 10.5 for a little bit there, and then it came down to 9.5. Luckily,
10.5.
It was.
It was supposed for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. 10.5.
It was ridiculous.
There was some value there.
And it wasn't even plus money. It was like minus 110.
We're the paper champs.
The paper.
Which means we're fucked.
Kirk Cousins, Bijan, Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Darnell Mooney's line is even up right now.
Okay, Moon.
A lot of explosiveness
Mooney's
from what
going
it looks
in
like.
The 18th round of best ball.
So at 575 value?
That does kind of feel like value.
I don't feel good about anybody except for Bijan.
Bijan I love. And I love his 6.5 touchdown rushing line. Like, I think that's...
Yeah,
feels so locky.
Like in a traditional way.
Yeah.
Like a fucking great running back should be used this year.
You know what's crazy? I looked into this when I was doing a write-up on him. Their run game coordinator hasn't changed from last year.
The Falcons?
See,
He's the same guy.
The tough part about that is like what
is like what is really he doing?
The run game coordinator.
Zach Robinson's really going to be obviously the lead and like calling everything. So it's like, is that going to change much? Probably not. He's an O-line and run game coordinator. I think that more just means blocking schemes. Again, I've never been in an NFL coaching room, so I don't know if he's going to be the one drawing up some shit or not. But if that's the case, we just might be setting ourselves up for an absolute failure.
Bijan will be great. The rest of them, I don't feel good about.
What do you think about Kirk's lines?
I feel like it's high.
It's very high.
Like
I did
it doesn't feel like there's any risk baked into any of his numbers.
No.
They're just like coming off Achilles. He's cooking.
This is what you'd expect just any other Kirk year.
That's what I was gonna say. This feels like a little bit of almost even the higher end of what Kirk's numbers would be.
It's like they paced out what he would have had last year with 4,800 yards.
And it doesn't make sense to me of like you're putting Kirk at 4K and then not even one receiver at 1,000. Like how the fuck does that math add up?
Seems like it's
the math ain't mathing there, and it's
because who the fuck else? I mean, Bijan will probably have.
He'll probably be sitting in like his line will probably come out at like 400 or 500. Like he'll be very involved in the passing game. They don't have a receiving back. I mean, not that I know. Tyler Algier is the only other one there.
Our next wide receiver is horrible.
It's not Scotty still, is it?
No, he was. Honestly, we might bring back Julio. Yeah, no, we don't have. I was looking at
Who the fuck is it?
I was looking at like personnel formations last year, and we were by far and away the number one team in terms of using one wide receiver on the field during. Like we were.
You ran 13 a lot.
Yeah, it was 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, and one wide receiver, like 30% of our plays.
Damn,
and the next highest
22
rate,
like that. That's
the next highest rate was like 7%. Or so. But see, here's the thing: like Arthur Smith will get ripped for that, but when you look at our team. We don't want another one of our shitty fucking wide receivers out on the field. Like, I would have rather had Jonnu out there than probably fucking some Khalif Raymond ass receiver.
Yeah. Damn, shout at Khalif Raymond. Hope you're watching.
Yeah, I'll say this: like, I'm excited to watch the Falcons this year because like this is finally the year where it's like put up or shut up. But
so when Penix comes in and his line's like 3K, just because they know something's up.
Penix is his line up?
Lines. I don't think he will have one. But imagine he comes out.
Penix would be fucking phenomenal.
I do
Penix
like
for like
on wins though.
Yeah, 9.5. In their schedule, I'm gonna be honest. You're talking about after bye, easy schedule, brother. Chargers, Minnesota, Vegas, the Giants, Washington,
Raiders,
Carolina.
Dude, all
like, you might not. Like you might not lose a game after the bye. No, before the bye, you start out Pittsburgh, Philly, Kansas City.
Our first 3 games are tough as fuck, but then after that, like every single game is winnable. Maybe like even Dallas is at home.
I think Seattle would be tough. Sure. Dallas will be tough, obviously. But
those 2 teams got to travel to like Seattle to Atlanta is a long fucking trip.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be
the beginning's tough, but
Atlanta's definitely gonna be a polarizing team to look at because I feel like you guys are either gonna absolutely smash this or you're gonna crumble like a crumble cookie.
We just never smash what we're supposed to. So, like, I am the least optimistic person when it comes to this.
But like when Penix comes in,
I can't wait.
Then it's game over.
That's my goat.
It's my goat.
Best draft pick of all time.
All right, final thoughts. Over under locks. I'm locking in Bijan over 6.5. That's by far my favorite.
That'd be my bet on the board as well.
Go over wins, over Kirky yards.
Over? Didn't we just discuss of how high?
When
I
is
think
Kirk not a 4K passer?
The under on his touchdowns, I feel like, is really, really strong play.
Yeah.
Again, because London is probably the highest projected receiving touchdown guy at 5.5.
I think he'll probably be like 24 touchdowns, 9 picks. Like,
Right.
be efficient.
Because I also think on the goal line, they're going to use, it's going to be Bijan pretty much like every carry.
Yeah.
And other guys that are at like 28.5 would probably be like the Jared Goffs of the world, where they have probably Amon-Ra's probably at like 7.5, 8.5 touchdowns. Sam Laporta, 7.5, 8.5 touchdowns. Like, we don't have anyone close to that in the receiving line. So I think the disconnect on touchdowns to yards is
TBD.
TBD. You think it might be double digit when it unlocks?
9.5 Mooney.
Little 9.5 moon. Little Moonstein in round 18. Thoughts? The value? Well, make sure when you're taking these lines, you're doing so on Underdog Fantasy using code BDG, because you'll get up to a free $250 and a half deposit match bonus. Not only that, you'll get a free square Patrick Mahomes half a yard week 1. So you're guaranteed free money here. There's literally,
And
make sure to like, subscribe, all that sort of fun shit down below. Let us know what your guys' thoughts are on the NFC South this year, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Bang.